Today, on how it's made. Bullets. The one product where quality control isn't optional, it's a liability issue. Welcome to one of America's most productive factories. Not productive in the sense that it makes society better. Productive in the purely numerical sense. This single facility produces 4 million rounds of ammunition per day. That's roughly one bullet for every argument that will happen on the internet this afternoon. It all begins with brass. Coils of 70-30 cartridge brass arrive at the loading dock. That's 70% copper, 30% zinc, and 0% moral ambiguity. The brass doesn't know what it's about to become. Which is probably for the best. A 200-ton press punches small cups from the brass sheet at a rate of 600 per minute. Each cup is roughly the size of a thimble. The resemblance to sewing supplies ends there. The cups pass through a series of progressive dies that stretch them into the familiar cartridge shape. This process is called drawing, which is the same word artists use, though the end product serves a somewhat different purpose. The base of each case is then stamped with the manufacturer's head stamp and the primer pocket is punched. This is the bullet's birth certificate. Date, caliber, and place of origin. It will be the only form of identification it ever needs. The case necks are heated to precisely 800 degrees to restore flexibility in the brass. This process is called annealing, and it leaves a distinctive rainbow discoloration on the case. It is, arguably, the most beautiful step in an otherwise morally complicated manufacturing process. A small primer, essentially a tiny explosive, is pressed into the pocket at the base of each case. The primer's only job is to be struck once and react immediately. Career counselors would call this a lack of long-term planning. Each case then receives a precisely measured charge of smokeless powder. The tolerance is plus or minus 1/10 of a grain. For context, that's a level of precision most people reserve for baking competitions, except the consequences of getting it wrong here are considerably more dramatic. Meanwhile, in another part of the factory, the actual bullet is being formed. A lead core is swaged into shape and wrapped in a copper jacket. Like a very small, very fast gift that nobody asked for. The bullet is seated into the case mouth and crimped in place. The finished round is now complete. A masterpiece of engineering, chemistry, and questionable priorities that took approximately 2 seconds to manufacture. Every 50th round is pulled from the line and tested. Weight, dimensions, and concentricity are measured to the thousandth of an inch. Because if there's one thing humanity absolutely refuses to do, it's make a sloppy bullet. The finished rounds are boxed, labeled, and shipped to distributors in all 50 states. Each box contains 50 rounds and retails for approximately $27. That works out to about 54 cents per unit, making it one of the most affordable things in America that can permanently ruin someone's day. And that is how bullets are made.